Hello supply chain friends. In this video, I will cover with you the top 10 universities in the United States if you are planning to pursue an undergraduate or bachelor's degree in supply chain management. My name is Jamil Hai and I have been working in supply chain management positions across South Asia, Middle East and North America for the last 20 years. And my mission is to help you build real life skills for your job and career that they don't teach you in college. And if you are preparing for a supply chain job interview anytime soon, you should definitely book a session with me because I'm going to take your resume, the job description you're applying for, and based on a combination of those two and my 20 years of experience, will give you some laser guided tips and tricks which will maximize your chances of success. So go ahead now and book your session. Before we get into the top 10 university list here, I want to emphasize on the fact that undergraduate programs in the US are very expensive. So if you're coming from abroad, definitely look for scholarships or assistantships that you can get to minimize the cost. And even if you are getting a scholarship or a reduction in your fee for some reason, and that university may not be in the list of top 10 that I'm about to share with you, that's fine, because you need to keep your cost of education as low as possible. You don't want to get into a situation where you are taking on a lot of student debt, because after credit cards, the student debt is one of the biggest menaces in the United States, where people keep repaying that debt almost into their 40s, which is a very bad idea. So if you are getting an admission with a full scholarship in a university which might be number 25 on the list or number 30 on the list, that is fine as compared to paying a lot of money and taking a lot of student debt in order to get into a top 5 or top 7 university. Now, that is one thing. The other one is that if you are already in the US and you are a resident of a state, then try to find supply chain undergrad programs in that state, because as an in-state student, which means let's say you are living in Texas, so you are a resident of Texas, then you will be considered as an in-state student for that particular state. So if you are living in Dallas, for example, try to find universities in Texas itself, because they will be much cheaper for you as compared to going to Georgia or going to Boston, even if the ranking of the university is much higher, because the cost you are going to pay for being an out-of-state student, it's going to be significantly higher. Just to give you an idea, the out-of-state tuition fee is almost 4 times or 3 times as much as in-state tuition fee. So if you are, let's say, paying $12,000 a year for an undergraduate program in your state as an in-state student, you might be paying up to $35,000, $36,000 or sometimes even more if you are an out-of-state student. And then you will see some of those numbers, which I will be sharing with you shortly. So on number 10, we've got the Pennsylvania State University, or the Penn State University, which is based in University Park, Pennsylvania. Their in-state tuition fee is about $14,000 a year. And if you're out of state, it's $27,000 a year. So you can see that point I was making earlier, that if you're out of state, you pay significantly higher. So try to prefer a university which is already in your state, or if you're coming from abroad, then definitely look for scholarships, or any university which is giving you a scholarship or giving you some kind of a reduction in the tuition fee. Try to go for those. And Penn State University, I can tell you, is a very recognized university in the supply chain space in the US, because I've got first-hand experience of working with faculty from Penn State. I was a few years ago working on a project for my company where we were building capability programs for supply chain, and we were very closely collaborating with Penn State University at that time. On number 9, we've got University of Arkansas. Their in-state tuition fee is $11,000. And this is just the tuition fee, by the way. This doesn't include your boarding, lodging, and all those kind of things. And if you're out of state at University of Arkansas, you'll be paying about $31,000 a year. And they claim that 94% of their graduates find a job within 6 months, which is not bad at all. On number 8, we have got University of Texas at Austin, which is a very famous university. UT Austin is very well known even in the engineering community, and is very well respected. And at UT Austin, if you get into the supply chain undergraduate program, it's going to cost you about $12,000 a year as an in-state student, and $45,000 as an out-of-state or international student. 92% of their graduates, as per their claim, find a job within 6 months. On number 7, we have got Georgia Tech, another very famous and very well respected name in the world of engineering also. So Georgia Tech is based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Their in-state tuition fee for the supply chain undergrad program is about $11,000 a year, and if you're out of state, it's $34,000. They claim that 96% of their graduates find a job within the first 6 months. Then let's move to number 6 on our list, which is University of Michigan at Ann Arbor. So it's in Ann Arbor, Michigan. $17,000 in-state tuition fee, $60,000 international student fee, so pretty high. And 98% of their graduates find a job within 6 months. Michigan is, by the way, pretty heavy on supply chain training and undergraduate and graduate programs as well, and you will actually see that later on in this video too. And the reason for this is that Michigan has been historically very active in the manufacturing and supply chain space. Don't forget that Ford Motor Company was born in Dearborn, Michigan. That's where Henry Ford started the company. And therefore, historically, Michigan is a state which has been very, very heavy on supply chain management. On number 5, we have got Ohio State University based in Columbus, Ohio. You are going to be paying $13,000 tuition fee if you are an in-state student there, $45,000 per year if you are an international student. On number 4, we have got University of Tennessee at Knoxville, and that is going to cost you about $13,000 as an in-state student and $28,000 as an international or out-of-state student. They claim that 91% of their students get a job within the first 6 months. And that takes me to our top 3. And on number 3, we have got MIT. So MIT, of course, is probably the most well-known university as far as engineering and technology programs are considered. But I must say that MIT is also super strong in the space of supply chain. Their supply chain department is very strong, and the person who leads their supply chain department, Yossi Sheffi, he is probably one of the most well-known professors in the space of supply chain. He has also written a lot of books, and if you have watched my video on top 5 books every supply chain manager should read, which you can watch by clicking over here, I have covered one of the 5 books I've mentioned is written by Yossi Sheffi, which is called The Resilient Enterprise. So MIT is very strong overall in the space of supply chain, and they do claim that their placement rate is about 95% within the first 3 months, which is awesome. Having said that, MIT is very expensive. The 1-year fee for the undergrad supply chain program is in the ballpark of $65,000. So very, very expensive. Of course, if you are coming to study there, try to get a scholarship, which will significantly reduce your cost. By the way, MIT doesn't have at least for this program, I'm not sure about the others. What their website says is that they don't have an in-state or out-of-state like difference in the fee. However, they definitely do offer a lot of financial aid programs. They have a lot of scholarship programs. And if you have got certain family situation where there is limited income, they definitely give a lot of preference and cost reduction in those cases. But of course, MIT is always very difficult to get in because there is so much cutthroat competition to get into a university of that caliber. At number 2, we have got the Arizona State University, and Arizona State University is also one of the top universities when it comes to supply chain. And I've also referred to one of the courses taught by their faculty in my video on the top 5 supply chain courses, which you can watch by clicking over here. So Arizona State University, in-state tuition fee is about $12,000 a year. Out of state is $34,000 a year. Their claim is that their graduates get a job. 91% of the graduates get a job within first 6 months. So a very well-known university, once again, in the supply chain space. And that finally takes me to number 1 on our list, which is Michigan State University, which is based in Lansing, Michigan, maybe few hours out of Detroit. 85% placement rate in the first 3 months. This is, if you think about Michigan State University, at Lansing, or Arizona State University or MIT, they are always in the top 3. They are interchanging positions. Sometimes MIT will come on top one, sometimes Arizona State University will become number 1. So there is not a lot to choose amongst the 3 of those. So all of them are extremely good universities with very well-known programs in supply chain. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've also made videos on the top 10 highest paying supply chain jobs in the United States and the top 5 supply chain jobs in 2025, which you can watch by clicking over here. Keep watching.